won't remember. And I'm going to let you work on the waiting room. I'm going to exit out of that. Close the chat. There we go. That's what I needed. So there we go. And then I don't know why it keeps doing that. It's so weird. Hang on. I'm just met this thing's oh, there we go. I don't know. Okay. I think. Is everything good? Can you guys see me okay? We're good. Can I get some thumbs up? Okay. I'm just trying to get all the buttons clicked here and it was just being a little crazy. So two of the, in order to, how many of you are on here would agree you are ready to be at the next level of leadership? Because, and let me explain what I mean by this. Leadership is more than a rank. It's actually not associated with a rank at all. There are a lot of people that earn money but aren't leaders. And so there's a difference between an earner and a leader. A leader is someone who is growing other leaders in their organization. They're personally out there in phase one activities, meaning they're recruiting new people, they're gathering new customers, they're building new lines of businesses, and they are leading by example, not just on a perch. Oh, look what I did once upon a time. How many of you have ever gone? Um, you're at a friend's house and you're all hanging out or whatever, and you are just like somebody's telling their story about the good old days, like the guy that he was the high school football star and now he's got a beer gut and he's bald and all he's talking about is his heyday back when he was 17, 18 years old, right? Like once upon a time they did something. And while that's great and what an incredible accomplishment, you don't want to be that person. That is actually not leadership. Leadership is leading by example, getting out in front, doing what it takes, right, to get to that next level. And so if you're on here, then I would say, yes, you are ready to level up and get to that next level of leadership. And one of those things, and we're going to talk about this one first, and then we'll get into what you thought you were coming for today, is event promotion. I'll never ever forget the very first time I went to an Eric Worre event back in December of 2016. One of the things he said in his talk was that event promotion was one of the highest paying skills, which was puzzling to me. I was like, I mean, okay, explain that to me. What do you even mean by that? Because, like, for instance, we'll just use Denise as an example. Like, Denise signs up um, for Legacy Makers Live, right? And then Denise gets Patty and Taylor to come. I mean, technically speaking, Denise doesn't make a commission if Patty and Taylor come, right? But if Denise can get Patty and Taylor to come, and Patty and Taylor hear something from that stage, or they meet someone and have a conversation, or they hear a story from stage that inspires them, suddenly they're going to take more action. They're going to be better equipped. They're going to have developed the skills necessary to get to the next level. So without directly making money from them coming, they will statistically make more money because they got people to an event. And so here is lesson number one for you today. The bonus lesson is you need to become exceptional at getting to events yourself and then getting others in your organization to get to events. It's you don't ever, like Nicole's on here and I recruited Nicole. Like I don't recruit Nicole one time. Right? That's some of you do. Some of you recruit somebody into your business. You're so freaking excited that you recruited them into your business that you think the work is done. My friend, the work has just begun. Okay. Getting them here is step one. Step two is how quickly can I get Nicole to an event? How quickly can I get her around the culture? How quickly can I get her in front of the other people who are going to train where something's going to click for Nicole, something's going to register for Nicole that changes everything for her. Okay. And you can ask her yourself. She had just joined right before Legacy Makers Live. And I was like on her like crazy, like, come on, girl. Are you sure you can't come? Are you sure you can't come? Are you sure you can't make it work? Are you sure you can't make it work? I was following up with her more to get her to an event than I did to get her into the business. Because once you understand that get them into the business is only step one, all the steps that follow after that are actually the more important steps, right? If you aren't in your people's inbox right now, every day, like talking to them about TLA, getting them to TLA, you are not being an effective leader. You aren't that serious, so to speak, about actually getting to the next level. And you say, well, that's unfair, Tina. I didn't even know that was one of the highest paying skills. Well, that's why you're here today. Congratulations. Now you know. So now that you know, when we don't know what we don't know, we can't be held accountable. But now you know. Getting people to the event statistically will pay you for every one person you get in a seat at an event will statistically pay you $1,000 more that year. $1,000 more that year. So it should be your goal to get as many people in your organization to the next event as you possibly can. And you've also got to become really good at overcoming the objections that people are going to get you. Because here's the thing. Everyone is going to be busy. Everyone is going to have things that could keep them from coming. How many of you have ever had things happen that could have kept you from being in an event, but you actively made the decision to get to that event anyways? Let me know in the chat by putting a 2, right? Guys, I'm just going to tell you this. It is always that way. It won't matter how long you've been in this industry. It will always be something that will come up in life that will try to keep you from getting to the next event. If you are serious about your goals and about earning income in this industry, you are going to want to make sure that you are getting to events and you are making sure everyone you enrolled, you are getting them to an event, right? And you're going to say it like this. So Nicole's been in the industry for a minute. So this isn't something I would say to Nicole, but if she'd never been in this industry before, right, I would say this to her. Listen, Nicole, it's sort of like being a realtor. There's classes involved. There's schooling involved. Like you had to learn a lot to become a realtor. They didn't just say, oh, here, go sell houses. There were things you needed to learn so that you could go out and be a realtor. That is what this event is. This is going to teach you the skills that you need to know so that we can make your dream a reality. Now, this is going to be super important for you to know. What is their dream? What is it that they came here to accomplish and want to do? If you haven't had a welcome call with them or been a part of a welcome call with them, I would start with that. I would get them on a Zoom and I would be digging deeper to find out exactly what it is that they desire out of this business, because then I can say to the person, oh, like you don't necessarily want to do real estate forever. Okay, good deal. I totally understand that. That's how I felt in my previous job. All I knew was that job that I had was never going to get me where I wanted to be in life. And so I had to think differently. And in order for me to be where I am today, I had to get to events because I needed to learn from the people who were already successful, who were already getting the results that I desired. And so you've got to be intentional about not only figuring out how you're going to get there. And guys, let me just tell you, you're going to have to figure it out. Like it's not always going to come easy. It's not ever going to be convenient. It's a part of being sold out to your dream, sold out to what you said you wanted when you got here, and then helping other people get that way too. And if you want to build a strong, healthy, thriving organization, you get to events and you become exceptional at getting other people to come to events. And now you may be saying to yourself, oh, well, what if they ask me questions I don't know the answer to? That's okay. So I'll use Lori as an example. If Lori's talking to Kim and she's trying to get Kim to come to the event and Kim starts asking some questions that Lori doesn't know the answers to, Lori can put Kim in a 3-way chat with me and I can help answer those questions. Okay. You're never done using third-party edification. Just because you brought them in with third party doesn't mean it's the last time that you will use third party in 3-way chats or calls or Zooms to help move people in the direction of their goals and dreams. Like this is about moving them in the direction to give them what they said they wanted when they started, which is getting them to an event. Because there's something, how many of you have ever been to an event and just being in the environment changed you? Being around the energy was contagious for you, right? Being at an event, something was said, someone taught something, a conversation happened in the wee hours of the morning where it's the meetings after the meetings that changed everything for you. Let me know if that's happened to you. How is anyone ever going to experience that if you don't personally reach out to them and make sure that they know? Like, we as leaders will do our jobs. Like, we will teach it, we will talk about it. But, at this point, there's like 12,000 people in my organization. I can't personally reach out to 12,000 people. This is what network marketing is. It's me telling my people, them telling their people, them telling their people, and so on and so on and so on. If you are the person that stops that chain reaction, and then in 6 months, you're like, well, it just doesn't work for me. I don't know why I'm not moving forward. There was a break in the system. Okay, you can always track someone failing to a break in the system. And the break in the system for you is that you aren't getting to events and you're not promoting events. I am always, how you've seen it, right? Am I not always excited about them? Am I not always talking about them? Am I not always promoting them? And then here's the thing that's really cool. It never, ever, ever fails. Anytime I am at an event, anytime, and I'm sharing it in my stories and I'm making posts about it and I'm making reels about it, I recruit more people because people are attracted to the fun and the energy and all of the things that come along with being at an event. I know, for instance, when I was in my job in corporate America, they didn't have events. We had morning meetings at like 6 a.m., but I wasn't even awake hardly to hang out with those people. And it certainly wasn't exciting, right? People want to be where the fun is at. And so if you want to see your recruiting numbers increase, if you want to see your team's recruiting numbers increase, then it is going to be up to you to get them to the event. Lori just said it. She was at TLA last year, 3 weeks after she joined, and it changed her. Absolutely. Absolutely. It changed. And the same for me. I wasn't in the business very long at all either. And I went to my first event. And then I went to my second event. And then I went to my third event. And then I went to my fourth. And let me just be very clear for some of you that may not know this. I was not making money yet. Okay. I was barely making enough money to cover the products I was purchasing. And I was 13 months in. And I was still getting my butt in a seat at an event, because how was I ever going to make the money if I didn't learn from the people who were actually doing it? And that is what events do. So bonus training today was this. If you want to really become a leader in this industry and make your dreams come true, then you've got to be willing to reach out a hand and help other people get to an event, okay? When you become really, really good at promoting events, everything shifts in your business, okay? So how many of you are going to send out messages today, tomorrow, the next day, and so forth, and make it your mission to get as many people in your current organization to TLA as possible, okay? You want to be encouraging them, help them problem solve, help them come up with a way, help them find roommates, help them figure out, like, guys, we have Chat GPT. This is not hard. You can go on Chat GPT and look up flights, the cheapest flights from this particular area. You can help them. I can't tell you how many people I'm like, girl, you hang tight. We'll look together. We will find you the cheapest flight together, right? That's how invested I am in making sure that they get there. And that's how invested that you should be to make sure that they get there, okay? You may end up being 6 deep in a room that sleeps 4 people. Listen, you can make anything work. And I've done it. I'll never forget in March of 2017. I'd been in the industry for 13 months. I was like, is this ever going to work out for me? Am I ever actually going to make any real money at this? Like, that is where I was at mentally, but I knew I needed to get to an event. I did not even have any extra money. Like, I was almost to $0 in my checking account. Okay. I took food with me because I didn't get paid till like 2 days later. So I was just going to eat this. I had to eat the snacks that I brought with me. And I shared a room with 4 other women. There were 5 of us in a room that slept 4, but I did not care. I was like, put me on the floor, put me on the couch, whatever you need to do. I just need to be there. I know I need to be there. And I got there. And let me tell you something. It changed everything for me. It was that event that I came home and the next month I made $4,000, and I promise you it felt like 4 million. It was the most I had ever made, ever, ever, ever. And it literally set the trajectory of my business in just a new direction. And so get really good at you getting to the events and you promoting the events for everyone else. Okay. Who do we got talking here? I'm going to click mute all really quickly. Perfect. Okay. Now let's move on to what you came for, which is presenting. How many of you don't present because you're nervous? Let me know if presenting makes you want to throw up. If presenting makes you want to throw up, let me know because I get it. How many of you hate the sound of your own voice? Put a 3 in the chat. You're like, I would rather poke my eyeball out with a Sharpie than hear myself talk, right? Okay. Yeah. Oh, me too. Me too. How many of you would consider yourself an introvert? Put a 4 in the chat. If you would consider yourself an introvert. Oh, now we're talking. Okay. So, how many of you don't like to speak in front of others? Put a 5 in the chat. And last but certainly not least, how many of you that are on here right now don't feel qualified? Don't feel qualified. Put a 6 in the chat if you don't feel qualified. 3, 4, 5, 6. I love that one. She's like 3, 4. I'm all the above. Just is there a check box for all the? If you're all the above, put a 7. If you're all the above, put a 7. Right? Okay. So here's what I want to tell you. And this is just going to be some. It's going to help shift your mindset. Okay. How many of you heard a story, read a story, or seen a story that piqued your interest about Trinot? Put an 8 in the chat. How many of you have had a product experience with a Trinot product with a story you can share? Put a 9 in the chat. Many of you have a business story, a money story, whether it's I bought gas, I bought groceries, I'm Tammy Akins, I remodeled my kitchen. How many of you have a money story? Put a 10. So all the same people who said 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are also the same people that are saying 9 and 10. I want you to see this, okay? You are already equipped to share. So here's what I want you to know. The art of presenting from nervous to natural. If you aren't nervous, well, then I'm a little concerned. Okay. You should be nervous, right? Anything we do that is new is going to make you nervous. I'll never forget being new at doing these things. And it's, guys, let me just be clear to you. Like, I wasn't good at it. Like I wasn't a natural. I didn't know how to talk properly. I said 8,000 times. I was nervous. It was clear I was nervous. Okay. But let me tell you something super powerful about the nervous person who is terrified to do it. I heard a story once that Ray Higdon told about how they were doing an in-person meeting, an in-person opportunity presentation. And the guy that always did them, who was just like the home run rock star, if he spoke, the room was going to listen kind of guy, right? It would be like our Jen Dowd, right? Like Jen Dowd does an opportunity presentation, we're filling it up because we know she's going to bring the goods, right? Do we agree or do we agree, right? Except he got sick. He got sick and he didn't show up. And there was one other woman in the room that was willing to do it. She'd never done it before. She was so nervous, her voice was cracking. She stumbled over her words. I mean, literally just sweating, praying she could get through it. And they had more people sign up than they did when the guy that knew it all did it. You want to know what people said? They said, wait, if she can do this, I definitely can. See, you think that it has to be the best of the best in order for it to be effective, when really people are looking for a mirror. They're looking to see themselves in the person that's sharing the information. Why do you think I still tell the story? Hi, I'm teenage Ray Carroll, high school dropout, teenage mom, nearly drank myself to death in 2009, 2010, lost my home, my job, my car, and the respect of everyone who loved me. Why do you think I still tell that story? Because that is the part people can relate to. People can relate to, yes, Kim, authenticity. People can relate to you being new and nervous. But here's what I know, each of you already have a story. And so, step one in presenting is just get on and share your story. Just share your product testimony or share a business testimony or do both, right? It's not like we have to hand you the slides and you're on your own and we're going to wish you luck and we're going to invite 800 people to come watch you, right? You could say to your upline, listen, I'm not kidding. I'm totally nervous about this. I don't feel equipped. I don't feel ready. I don't feel qualified, but I am willing to jump in and share my story. Can you plug me into an opportunity presentation sometime soon so that I can do that? You can start by sharing your story. And you can do that a few times, right? You can do that more than once. You can say to the people who are doing the opportunity presentations, listen, do you mind for like the next, but you got to give yourself a time frame. Do you mind for the next 4 weeks if once a week I just pop on and share my story just so that I can get a little bit more familiar with how this all works so that I can get a little bit more comfortable talking in front of others. You can start out small with presentations, okay? But here's what I want you to remember. If you're on here right now, it means you're ready to elevate your level of leadership, okay? And if you want to elevate your level of leadership, then you got to lead from the front. You don't ever want a business that you are the only person that can do the presenting, or you, my friend, don't have freedom, right? You want other people in your organization doing the presenting, and you want your people seeing you do the presenting. If you ever want to raise up an organization of people that are leading and not just following, because it's exhausting to lead followers, it is empowering to lead leaders, okay? For all parties involved. Then you want to get them in front of the people. And so what I want you to do, if you've never done an opportunity presentation before, I want you to commit right now, because if you're on here, it means that you already are interested, right? And it's going to be a little uncomfortable, but I want you to commit, and I want you to say, I commit to doing step one, which is sharing your story, getting in contact with someone that is already doing an opportunity presentation, or asking your leader saying, listen, how do I find out who's doing the opportunity presentations and where I can plug in and share my story? That is going to be step one for you. Okay. Who is committed to doing that? Did you know that the highest paid people in our profession are great presenters, and none of us started that way? It's easy to look at somebody when they're a decade into the industry and be like, well, yeah, she's great. Like, good for you, right? The only way they got good was they started bad, right? The only way they got good was they said, put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. Who's ready to be put in? Then step two is going to be you're going to do a part of the opportunity presentation. Maybe you decide you're going to be the person that shares for the products, right? Here's what I would do. I would find me a presenting buddy and I would jump on Zoom, the two of you, and practice, right? I mean, I watch my husband do it all the time. He still makes videos. He does consulting and still makes videos for his former company, or I guess technically still his company because they still pay him. But anyways, all that being said, he practices and then he does, right? As he creates these training videos. So you could find a presenting buddy and you guys could practice. We're actually having a whole new slide deck made that is just going to be kind of universal for the team so that we can just have one that we all use instead of like there's 10 different kind out there and they all have different groups and all these things on them. So we're getting one made, but in the meantime, we do have some I can send you. But find your presenting buddy and just go through it. Okay. And here's what I need you to know. What you want to invoke out of people when you're doing an opportunity presentation is they can see themselves in it. That is why the stories are so important. That is why you bring people in to share their story and their testimony. Or if you're not going to bring someone in, you're sharing your story and your testimony with the products and with the business. Okay. And you want to start asking questions. So, for instance, if we're talking about enrich in an opportunity presentation, I'm going to say things like, how many of you struggle with suddenly your skin's breaking out? You've got gastrointestinal issues, your tummy's just like hurting and you don't know why. Maybe your anxiety's higher than it's ever been. Maybe you're unable to lose weight or gain weight. Maybe you're having, TMI bathroom issues, right? If you can relate to any of those, drop me a 1 in the comment section below. Do you see what I'm doing there? I'm getting them to already tell me they need what it is that I'm about to tell them is going to solve their problem, right? And then I'll go in to what does Enrich do, right? We always share the fun video, right? The pudding demo. Here's the pudding demo. This is what it does. Breaks down fats, carbs, sugars, proteins, and it's got a pre and a probiotic in it, right? Then I'm going to say, if anything I said, can you think of anybody and anything I just said that could use this product? Do you know anybody? Like your mom, your aunt, your friend, your neighbor? Who do you know that would benefit from this product? Now I've got them thinking about who they know that need the product. Why am I doing that? Because in a little bit, we're going to talk about the opportunity. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to spin it. And I'm going to say, for all of you that thought to yourself, you know somebody that could use those products we just talked about, you're going to want to hear what I have to say about how you can earn some additional income if they get the product that changes their gut health. How many of you are following what I'm saying here, right? All you're really doing is you're trying to make them see why they need the product, what problem it's going to solve for them, who they know that needs the product, so that when we go into the opportunity presentation side of things, they are already like, yeah, I need that product. Yeah, it makes sense for me to go ahead and sign up and get an associate link, right? And then another thing that I like to do is ask for audience participation, right? I did it here. You've watched me do it here and you've participated with me here. And I do something simple. Okay, you got to keep this simple if you want people to participate. Drop a 1 for this, drop a 2 for this, drop a 3 for this. If you can relate, say yes. If your gut is a mess, say gut. Do something very simple to get them interacting with you, right? Because this gets them from being zoned out and they're like, oh yeah, I'm talking about gut health again, to participating, and it's keeping their attention, it's keeping them moving along with you as you are presenting. Does that make sense? Can I get a yes or yes? Yes or yes? I can't see very many of you today. Super duper important. I also, as I am going into the opportunity side of things, I am going to make sure that they know I was skeptical, right? You've heard me do it over and over. I'll say, how many of you on here right now are pretty skeptical about this whole thing? I feel you. That was totally me. As a matter of fact, I was like, girl, I am never doing this. I want them to know that being skeptical is normal. It is normal and it is what I felt. Okay? Because now they're like, okay, all right, I'll listen. Because I'm definitely skeptical about this whole thing. And then I'm going to cause them to want to think about what it is that they now want from this, especially when we show the 1 page compensation plan document that shows our base pay. And I'm going to say, look along that green line there. Which number would actually make a difference in your life right now? Like which number did your eye automatically gravitate to that you're just like, wow, like if I was making that much of additional income a month, my life would be different. It would be easier. Now I'm getting them thinking about that money, that amount of money, right? And I'm going to say, let me know in the chat below which number stands out to you. How many of our friends on here right now were also skeptical whenever you joined? Throw me an 11 in the chat. And if you've earned any income at Trinont, can you just share in the chat section what that income has done for you? What has that helped you with? I mean, I could go on for days and tell you all the stories of people that have gotten that they're paying for their kids to go to school, they're paying for vacations, they're paying for car notes, they're paying for mortgages, they're paying for groceries. They're able to finally go to the grocery store and not look at the price tags when they shop. Do you see what I'm doing here? Are you following what I'm doing here? Right? You following? All we're doing is we're just causing them to see what is possible. Okay? You want to give them a reason to say yes to you. You want to invoke an emotion in them that causes them when you do at the end say, listen, I want you to get back in touch with the person that invited you to watch this because they actually care about you. And I want you to say yes to you. Are you following me? You're thinking more about how you're going to look and afraid of what people are going to say. And the reason people are getting on there is they have a tiny bit of hope things can be different. And you sharing your story and you sharing the stories of others and what Trinot products can do and what Trinot's opportunity can do for them is going to change everything for them. They have a tiny bit of hope that that's possible. So if you take your nervous Nelliness out of the equation and just say, my only goal is to share my story so that I can help more people experience what I've experienced, everything changes for you. Everything changes for you. And then here's what happens. Eventually, people will be like, I was on this opportunity presentation and Whitney spoke and her story, it was me. It was like listening to my own story. All opportunity presentations is just stories. The same stories that made you make a decision. Except it can't always be my story. It can't always be Sarah's story. It can't always be the Parker story. We need more stories because your story is unique to you, but there's people out there that can relate to the uniqueness of your story that can't relate to mine. How many of you would agree? So step 2 is you're going to lead a portion of the opportunity presentation. And there's only 2 steps. That's it. Step 1, share your story. Step 2, lead a portion. It's always better when there's 2 people leading an opportunity presentation because then you get a different vibe from 2 different people. You've got one doing products, you've got one doing the money part, right? Those are really the only 2 steps. And here's what I did, you guys. I would watch my favorite presenters and I would just take notes. What were they saying? Oh, what did they say about Enrich right there? Oh, how did they talk about Mojo? What did they say? What was that lingo? See, a lot of you see my stories about Activate and you're like, man, she knows a lot about what those things do. I don't. I actually do not. And actually, that is the extent of what I know about our products. What you hear me say on stories is the absolute extent of what I know about our products. I do not make it my goal to learn any more because I don't need to make a lot of money. What I did was I watched other people who said those things about our products and I took notes until I memorized it. Makes me sound kind of smart though, huh? Like I actually did some research. I didn't. I just watched some of you and you told me what to say. You can do that too. Take some notes. What are the things that someone said about a product or the opportunity that made something click for you, that made you stop and take a look? Write those things down. And just like if I was going, here's a great example. I'm going to be speaking on stage at TLA, right? I have to practice what I'm going to train, practice what I'm going to train again, practice what I'm going to train again. I don't just get up there and willy-nilly it, right? I am taking intentional action to become good at it, right? And so that's what I want you to do. I want you to stop being so about how you feel or how you think you'll feel if you do it. And I want you to get into who can I help by sharing my story. Every time you start to think about you in the situation and it making you nervous, I want you to instantly shift your thought to, but who will my story help? The second the doubt creeps in, I want you to immediately say to yourself, but who can my story help? Who can my story help? And the longer you do that, the less the doubt will creep in and cause you not to take action. If you really do want to be where you say you want to be, then you've got to become a presenter and an event promoter. And you don't have to be world class. You don't even have to know everything. You just have to know enough to share. And in the beginning, what I did was I got the Post-it notes that are about this size right here. Those are my favorite Post-it notes. And I would write the bullet points and I would stick them right there on my computer with the Post-it note right there so I could see them. AMPK check said that. Cortisol check said that. GLP-1 check said that. It was just in front of me until it stuck in here. Now, the great thing is we have the slides, so you can easily just follow along on the slides, right? But really what I want you to do, there's a lot of you on here today, 63 of you on here. With 63 of you on here, that's a lot of people that can share stories and a lot of people that can do opportunity presentations. Are you committed to starting with sharing your story? And then are you committed to doing a portion of an opportunity presentation coming up? And it's going to grow your confidence. And this is the last thing I want to touch on today. It's going to grow your confidence in such a way that it makes you unbreakable and unshakable in your belief about what you have your hands on and about the leader you're becoming and the people that you're attracting. If you want to feel that, then you have to be willing to feel the uncomfortableness of doing the action in the beginning. The only way you're going to grow the confidence to become the leader that you want to become is you got to be uncomfortable. But a lot of you are just comfortable being uncomfortable. Like you aren't where you want to be at all. Like at all. And it's uncomfortable where you are. But you would rather sit in that uncomfortable than a new uncomfortable, which is for a short amount of time. You're only uncomfortable the first few times you do it. And then suddenly it becomes like brushing your teeth. You don't even think about it. You're like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll share my story. Oh, yeah, sure, put me in. Oh, absolutely. You need me today? For sure, I'll do it. But you won't get there if you prefer the uncomfortable of your current situation. So which one do you want? Do you want to stay uncomfortable in your current situation, or do you want to get uncomfortable for just moments to share a story and to do an opportunity presentation? You tell me. I'm asking you the question. You tell me. Which one? Do I need to play like the Jeopardy music? Near, 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 near. Near, near, near. Near, 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 near. Guys, I'm telling you, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Donnie and I were talking about this last night. How many people we've seen come and we've seen go since we've been a decade in this industry, and how many of those people I feel sure are still watching, kicking themselves that they just wouldn't get uncomfortable. They quit too soon. They let what other people might think about them stop them. Let me tell you about those people. And then I'll take any questions that you guys have for a few minutes. I have a hater that's for 16 years. 16 years. It's a long time. She's pretty committed to the hate. Has been talking bad about me on social media. 16 years. Her life is miserable. Miserable. They struggle financially. They struggle in all areas of life. And my life is incredible. I just don't care. I just don't care. And you shouldn't either. I'm not taking advice from people who aren't where I want to be in life and aren't living out a life that I want. I don't, and you shouldn't either. Presenting is actually one of the simpler things that you'll do once you get the hang of it, because you get to use a slide deck. You get to do it alongside someone else. Someone else is on sharing the stories. You're just kind of guiding them and leading them through the process. And then before you know it, those dreams you have, speaking on stage one day, or you've already got your song picked out that you're going to walk up to whenever you get your award, those things start to happen because you got out of your comfort zone and you did the thing that so many won't do. You want to stand out, start doing those things. Okay, I'll take a couple questions before I got to go. Anybody have any questions? How do most of you put your story together? ChatGPT or what other resource can be used? I just tell my story, Leanne. I've not used ChatGPT for my own personal story because I know it, so I just share it. I'm not saying that you couldn't. I'm sure there are people that have used ChatGPT to, you can go ahead, that have used ChatGPT, to, help them get their story down. I don't think it's a bad idea. But I just share what's happening in my life, whether it's with products or with the business. I do think that when you're sharing your story, there is this format. Who were you before? Whether it's product or business related, who were you before? What changed? Like what did somebody tell you about the opportunity? Did you see a product on, Facebook or Instagram? And how is your life like today after the fact? Those are the three components of your story you don't want to miss. Thank you, Kim. So, what questions do you have related to presenting or events? Let me be clear on that. Let me answer those
Yes,
questions.
Get Bell Services to come get our bags. We're getting ready to check out. Yes, please.
Anybody?
The last floor is
Tina, can I
541.
ask a question quick? This is Beth.
Yes.
So about presenting for the legacy makers, like if we sign up for overviews to just kind of like contribute there, do we just sign up on that schedule and then pull in like our buddy or whoever's going to present with us?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Okay, perfect.
If you're signing up for a time slot, then you're in charge of who you get on with you.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep, yeah. I think somebody asked me about slides, and I can't find it now. I do have 3 sets of slides for people to choose from currently, but I'm also having like a master set made right now. We should have that done. I'll message her today. We should have that done in a I'll make sure it's done in a few days for us so that we have it, because it's going to be just all the correct information, so you don't have to remove anything and all of that. But
Where do you
I'll get
find
those.
them? The ones that are already made?
Sorry, I don't even know who's talking. What? Hang on, this
Then
is being so weird. Oh, there you are. I couldn't like, I don't know why this thing's being weird today. I'll have to email them to you. Yeah, so you'll
Oh.
need to send me a message and just type only your email in that message. I'll see if I can't get them uploaded in the group, because I don't want, not that I don't want, I won't have time today to send 61 emails if everybody on here asks me for them. So how about this? If you're signing up for a presentation, right? Or you're already signed up for a full-on presentation, or you want to practice a presentation, let me see if I can get the slides uploaded into the group in a file so that y'all could download them to the thing. But here's the other thing. I don't necessarily want to put the old ones up there and then have to remove them when people are confused. I'm trying to wait until the new ones are done. So I'll message Abby today and find out when those new ones are going to be done. Someone said, do you think it's effective? I don't know where the comment went, but I did see this one. Do you think it's effective to present on your personal profile? This is driving me nuts. Sorry. Not y'all, this Zoom is being crazy. On your personal profile, anytime I present, I always stream it to my personal profile. I mean, it's going to go away in 30 days because Facebook Lives get deleted in 30 days, but I'm just going to see what I can catch while I'm there. Right? For the 30 days I'm there, it's like throwing out a line in the water, and I'm just going to see if anybody bites. Right? So I do think it's very powerful for you to do them on your personal profile as well. Absolutely. The easiest way I've found to do that is you do have to have a paid Zoom account in order to stream live to your Facebook. And then I think, what's it called? StreamYard. StreamYard, you can also use slides. They do have a free version of StreamYard. I don't know if the free version gives you the ability to share your screen and slides. So you just have to look and play around with that.
Tina, I have a question for you. This is
Yes,
Pat.
ma'am. Hi.
So, is there a way that we can do presentations and make them a little bit shorter? Some people that I've invited have not stayed for the whole thing, because after 30 minutes, they go into, la la land, and they get bored. And they've told me that.
No, I mean, we hear the same things. I mean, we have
Okay.
people that it's both, right? Some people like to love and stay on for the longer ones. We do, all of us, I will tell you, all of the leaders are always talking about keeping it at 30 minutes. But here's what you can't control: when someone shares their story, right? Even when I bring people on and I'm like, keep your story at 2 minutes, it's 4, right? It's 6. And so some of the things are, you just can't quite control, right? Especially, how many of you nervous talk, right? Like you talk more because you're nervous, and that's what happens. And you don't want to make them feel bad. They'll never get on and share the story again, right? And so you just don't say nothing. You just try to prepare them before you go into the presentation, right? Like, hey, let's try to keep our story at about 2 minutes, practice doing it in about 2 minutes so that we can get this thing wrapped up in about 30 minutes. I do agree with you. I think just in general, people's attention spans are so much shorter, especially now that reels are a thing. I mean, I think the average attention span is 8 seconds. And so 30 minutes is even a really, really long time, right? So just what I would say is practice getting it down to that. And then here's the thing. This is where it gets lengthy, is when you get into product details. And so you want to limit how many products you're talking about, and you want to limit how long you're talking about each product. Like, here's what I don't do anymore. Like, I mean, nobody cares who the owners are. I love the owners. This isn't like me talking bad about the owners. I love the owners. I love Lauren, Scott, and Russ. I don't talk about them. I briefly mention, oh, look there, you see we got some cool awards. I skim over the transparency promise. Like, I'm not spending a minute on each of those things, right? I'm seconds on each of those things, and I'm getting to the goods. Why they're here: to hear the product testimonies and to hear the business testimonies and see if they want to partner. And that's what really happens a lot, Patty, is people get caught in the weeds, myself included, right? Myself included. I mean, I'm as guilty as anyone else. and is doing that. But I do agree. I think that 30 minutes is best. I know that Rocky and April did one the other night that was, I mean, I was getting messages while it was still going on that it was so powerful, and they did it. It was just a bit over 30, but it was a powerful 30. And we do have that one recorded if you want to get it. Yes, there is one that we have of Aaron and Kathy Parker that's 15 minutes that we get that I send if I'm just trying to get somebody to watch a short presentation while we're waiting for them to get on the big one. But you know, you just got to practice. We're still practicing. Rhonda and I talk about this all the time, trying to keep them shorter. Like it is a constant conversation for us, right? Really, it's so hard. He did do a great job. He's so enthusiastic. And that's something else too. You want to remember when you're sharing that your energy is contagious. And so, and this is going to sound crazy, you guys, but I'm telling you, I do this. I'm going to stand up and show you what I do. I'm trying to move this table that weighs 8,000 pounds. All right, that's good. Like you got to get up and you got to move. You got to jump. You got to just move your body, get your body moving. Like I can't do jumping jacks or I'll pee my pants because, you know, 3 kids and 49 years later, we can't do that kind of stuff anymore. But like get your body musing. Turn on, what is your favorite pump up music? Like what is the playlist that you play? Like if I play Eminem, I'm unstoppable. Right? I'm listening to Eminem and Christian music before I go out on stage every time I speak. Those are the 2 things I'm listening to. I'm like, Jesus, come in, Eminem, help me have the courage to go out. Right? Like, you get yourself fired up. Listen to some good music. Listen to something that's going to get your blood flowing, get you excited, and be excited. Don't be afraid. And you need to smile. Smile while you are talking to people. Make people want to be in your presence and be a part of what you're sharing, right? Nobody wants to listen to somebody. It's just like you're drumming around. Nobody wants to hear that, right? So get your body moving, shake a little, listen to some music that gets you fired up, and then sit down and be like, what is up, everyone? I'm so excited to chat with you today, right? That is contagious. And anybody that doesn't like it, they're just in a real bad mood that day and it didn't have anything to do with you, right? So yes, presentation recordings are there, so you can go there and look at them. How do you sign up for sharing your story in a presentation? So if you can't necessarily sign up to share your stories, you need to reach out to your leader, Leah, and just say, hey, I'm interested in being one of the stories on one of the opportunity presentations coming up. Can you let those that are leading the opportunity presentations know that I'm 1000% willing to be a story? I'll put me in, coach, right? That's all you have to do. We only have a sign up form at the end of every month for the next month for all the presentations for the next month. Okay. All righty. All right, guys, I'm gonna get off here. I love you guys. I hope you have a good rest of the day, and I'm really looking forward to seeing so many of you become excellent presenters.